Welcome to Civil Coding Academy. Today, I want to talk about media query. What is the usefulness of media query? If you ever open a website on your mobile phone and as you are browsing, everything looks smoothly, you're browsing, nothing cuts, the image didn't cut. For example, you open a website on laptop, very big, you bring it to your phone, it still fits into your phone size. That is media query. Mobile, trying to make your website be mobile responsive. Today, you agree with me that if 80% are scrolling your website, out of that 80%, 70 may likely be using mobile. Maybe the other 10% are using laptop. That is why the need for us to make our website responsive as we are creating it. So how do you achieve that? If you check, I've opened my VS Code, everything is empty here. It's just med.html, this is med.html I just create. I also created med.css and it's also empty. So both of them are completely empty. This is med.css, it's completely empty. So I'll come over to my med.html and then let's start right away. Okay. So as usual, I hold my shift key and press 1, press enter to get my empty HTML skeleton. Now when I've gotten the skeleton, I have to under the document, under document, I have to type in exactly what we are want to learn, which is media query. Let's call it media query tutorial. Media query tutorial. And I go ahead and link up my HTML with my CSS. So link med.css, med.css. Okay. In fact, I'm going to make it media.css. Okay, or you can write anything you like, but as for me, I'll do media.css. So here I open the first one, which is div class of container, div.container. Then I create the second div, which will be the child div now, div.item, class of item. And that's all. So I'll come over to my CSS and start this design right away. So let me use media.html. Just copy it and put on media.html. I don't want to use med again. Just type media.html. Okay. So I'll go over to my CSS, media.css as well, media.css, and let's start by creating the first one, which is dot container. Of course, we are not going to be watching because we know all of this. So let's go ahead and create and check it once to avoid wasting time. Dot container. I'm going to give him a width. The width should be 100%. 100%. Then I also give me a height, say height of 650, height of 650 pieces, pieces, 650 pieces. Then let's add a background so I can know what we're doing. Let's give me a background color. Background color. Let us give him background color of maybe blue, violet, or red, or anyone. Okay. Then let's go to the item without wasting time. No need, all of this item, which is dot item because it's a class of item. Dot item. Open your code browser, and then width of say 350, 250. Okay. Width 350 pixels. Height 250 pixels, height of 250 pixels. Okay, and let's give me a background color of aqua. Okay, background color of aqua. Then let's go ahead and create. How do you create media query? Media query make use of main height and mass height. Okay, Main height is the minimum height, that's the maximum. So, okay, anything from 200 pixels and above, maximum. While the max height is minimum. Okay, try to understand this because I'm going to show you an example to prove it. Max height means anything from 600. Let's say we put the max width to be 600. That means from 600 below. Okay, so they move in a kind of opposite direction. Okay, just get to understand it. So for this, since we are trying to we are creating on laptop, want to, let's say someone to browse it on desktop, on mobile, so we are moving from maximum to minimum. So for that reason we use max height. Okay, so how do you start? You start with add media query, add media. Okay, add media, give a space, open a bracket, then you now put your max width. Okay, it can be max, can be min, like I told you before now. So we use max width, semicolon, give a space, say 600 pixels. So what I'm saying is that any max width that is below 600 pixels. Okay, so 600 pixels. You now open your code browser again, bring it down. Let's start with dot container first. So if, for example, somebody is using media mobile and the what you're using is below 600 pixels, then the container item should change. Okay, so what should it change to? The width should change first to 500 pixels, which will change to 500 pixels, and height should also change to 500 pixels. Okay, the height too should change to 500 pixels. Height should also change to 500 pixels. That is for the parent, right? Now what about for the item? We say okay, for the item, which is dot item, dot item, sorry, this is dot item. So we'll say the width should change to, let's say, 300. Okay, width 300 pixels and height 300 pixels. So what did we say? What we are trying to tell the system is that if somebody is using a phone that is below 600 pixels, that this width that we had that's already 100% should reduce to 600 pixels, while the width of the item, which is the child, should reduce to 300 pixels. Remember before now it's around 350, right? So you can also make it 200 pixels depending on anything you want. So we can now run it at once and see how it goes, but it must fly. I know you know all of this, that's why I didn't care to start opening lifesaver and all that. So if I control S for save, of course you see it, everything appears. Okay, now this is what we have. This is maximum of 100. Let me just open it so you see it, complete 100, right? And this is the item inside the container that is before now is 500 pesos. So let us now try to reduce it and see what will happen. If you reduce up to phone mobile item, let's see, let's scroll, reduce it. Do you see it? It changes the color that we give him now. Okay, so it changes the color, these two changes the color. So that's what we are trying to say. But what if you try to do your reduce, I didn't change color? Then that means you have to go to your development tool. How do you get to a developers tool? Just click on these three dots, look for more tools, click on more tools. Then from there, go to developers tools, click on developers tools. And the moment to open developers tools, click on this. You see what I'm clicking? Click it again. This particular white will now bring you to where you can see dimension. So click on dimension dialog box. So you can now change it to your iPhone. You see how it look like on iPhone. Now let's change it to mini, or maybe like iPad will still be almost the same thing. Let's go to Samsung A7. You see it. So that's how you can actually see it now. So that's how you can change it. Okay, for developers, you can also right click and click inspect for that to develop, and you click on mobile and change it. So this is exactly what media query is all about. Now somebody can scroll it. If you scroll in on phone, when it gets to this size, everything will change. The color will change and the whole thing will reduce. If you also get to the other side, the main side, the color will also come back to normal. Hope you're understanding it. we just use div, okay? We just use box, but you can actually use many things, everything you are coding. Very soon we'll go to user scenario and you see that this applies in so many other areas, okay? By the time we get to Flexbox, we'll still visit this media query back. And anytime we build our website, we visit media query back. So we're going to be making some media query here and there. That's why I didn't really talk much on it. But meanwhile, what are other aspects of media query? If you remember what I explained before now, we have both mean width and mass width. Okay, so let's take an instance. For example, if you go to your MDN doc, this is your MDN doc, and you type media query, we show you all the aspects of media query that you need to know. Okay, all of them that you need to know. Some of them like this. Some people can use at media screen or at media print. You can use any of them too. You can also change orientation either to landscape, so you can change all of that, landscape, horizontal, and stuff like that. So you can also use this what is it called, the main and mass. You can also at media query mass width to 200 pixels and mean width to be 900 pixels, meaning that you are saying that anything below 600 pixels down and anything above 600 pixels up to 900 pixels, you now give them your own condition that the style should be like this or it should be like that. Okay, so all this area we're going to meet them in future. We keep on meeting them each time we are working. We keep on meeting them because from now on we will be creating responsive website. So see in our next class where we dwell more on media query as well as other areas that we're going to cover. And that now we are moving on to Flexbox. And under Flexbox, we're going to use cases. We will see that media query back. And then you also see the effect of media query. Thank you for coding with Steven. See you in our next class. Bye.